May 27th was a dark day for Ukraine. That was the day Lyman, the last free town north of the Donets River in eastern Ukraine's Donbas River, finally fell to Russian forces. Capturing Lyman helped the Russian army to consolidate its position in Donbas and secure supply lines across the region. Lyman was a domino. As it fell, it knocked down Severodonetsk, the last free city east of the Donets. And as Severodonetsk fell, it toppled Lysychansk, its twin city on the opposite side of the river. Nearly 4 months later, the dominoes are falling in the opposite direction. A Ukrainian counteroffensive that kicked off east of Kharkiv, Ukraine's second city 100 miles northwest of Lyman, in a heady 2 weeks has liberated 1,000 square miles of northeast Ukraine. Fleeing a dozen eager Ukrainian brigades, Russian forces in Kharkiv Oblast, including the once elite 1st Guard Tanks Army, have fled east across the Oskil River, leaving behind hundreds of vehicles and potentially thousands of casualties. The Ukrainians' momentum, weighted by aggressive air and artillery support, has carried them a short distance across the Oskil and south toward Lyman. Now several of Kyiv's brigades, a mix of paratroopers and territorials, also are closing on Lyman. From the opposite direction. It's a proverbial noose for the Russians in the town. The Institute for the Study of War in Washington, D.C. explained what's at stake. Further Ukrainian advances east along the north bank of the Siverskyi Donets River could make Russian positions around Lyman untenable and open the approaches to Lysychansk and ultimately Severodonetsk. The Russians, in other words, might soon lose a lot of the territory they spent this summer, and the disposition of forces in and around Lyman favors the attackers. As recently as last week, one analyst placed just 4 Russian battalions, motorized infantry, mostly, in the area.